Hi, everybody. My name is Kelly Swanson. I'm going to be your therapist in today's session. I'm sorry it's online. Unfortunately, we can't meet in person because of the coronavirus, which is why we're all here meeting today. We're going to talk about that. I'm here to create a safe space for conversation regarding how each of you feel about the coronavirus, how it's affecting each of you individually. And I want to take a second to get to know all of you and for all of you to get to know each other. So we're going to go around in a circle. Y'all are going to say your name, first and last name, and your diagnosis. So everyone has a better understanding of each other. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All sound okay? Okay. All right. So we are going to start with Annie. Annie, you want to go ahead and say?
Hi, I'm Annie Watts. I have schizophrenia. All this COVID-19 business is just a government conspiracy. It's just a government plot to keep us in our house. I don't even know, is this being recorded? Is it encrypted? I think the government's probably listening to us right now. Everyone, that's what's happening.
Okay, that's a good perspective. Thank you for sharing. Next, we're going to go to Brittany Nichols.
Hi, I'm Brittany Nichols, and I have anxiety disorder. I figured meeting over the computer would be a lot easier, but it took me about 10 minutes to finally log on to join you guys. Most of the time, I try to avoid situations like this because people make me very anxious. Everything makes me anxious, actually, and this virus isn't making anything easier. I'm just so worried about it.
All right, Brittany, thank you for sharing that. So we're going to move on. We'll touch back with you in just a minute, okay? We're going to move on to Brittany Bates.
Hi, I'm Brittany Bates. I have bipolar disorder. Staying inside has been really tough. So it's been really hard for me. My mood's been shifting a lot. So some days I'm super happy and I feel like on top of the world and I'm crafting and cleaning. And then, other days I'm just kind of, I guess, depressed and just kind of stay in bed all day. It's just been really hard.
Yeah, because the government's listening. That's why you feel that way.
Okay, we're gonna touch on that later. Okay, thank you guys for sharing. We still have one more person we need to hear from. So Caitlin, you want to go ahead?
Okay, I guess. Hi, I'm Caitlin McMillan, and I have major depressive disorder. I usually try to get out and be around others to feel happy, yet most of the time I can't be cheered up. Most of the time I spend my time in the house with all the lights off in bed. I used to love to garden, but I don't feel like going outside much these days, especially with that virus going around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true for a lot of people for sure. Thank you for sharing. So great. It's really nice to meet all of you guys. So next, like I said earlier, I want to create a safe space for everybody to voice your opinions and difficulties with dealing with the coronavirus outbreak. So first, I just want to say, please wait your turn to talk. Allow others to speak freely. We're not going to interrupt. Thank you, Annie. We're not going to interrupt.
It's just a government conspiracy. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Thank you for that input. Next time, just wait until we call on you, okay?
Okay.
So first, I really want to go in the order that you introduced yourself just to keep some consistency in there. I want you to talk about how the coronavirus has affected your life individually, whether it be work life, home life, family, friends, like doctor's appointments you guys have to go to, anything, really. So let's start with Annie. How's the coronavirus affected you, and are you doing okay?
Not really. I started self-quarantining, months ago. I'm a celebrity, as everyone knows. I'm sure you've seen me on TV multiple times. I'm pretty famous, so it's not like I can go out in public, anyways. But really, I haven't really been taking my meds. Again, it's just, they put things in those medications for the government to control you. That's all they do. So it's like I can't take my medication, obviously. And I haven't really seen a lot of my family either, just because, I just don't want to get around them. I don't know. Even when this quarantine's over, I don't think I can leave my house. It's just too risky. But I guess just my medication is the biggest problem. I know it helps, but I just can't take it.
Yeah, that must be really difficult for you to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry you have to deal with that. Obviously, like this is an added stressor, so it's going to be a little more difficult.
Yeah.
But let's try to stay on topic as far as the issues we have at hand. So, when you're talking about government conspiracies, that's something, we can probably talk about outside of this. But right now, let's focus on how you're feeling, okay?
Yeah, I guess I just really need some better ways to cope with all this stress.
Right. And maybe we can help you with that.
Okay.
Okay, so moving on to the next person, Brittany Nichols. Let's see, how are you holding up with all this going on? And then feel free
Um,
to elaborate.
this COVID-19 talk has me super panicked, but it hasn't really impacted my day-to-day life because I usually just try to stay quarantined and avoid people anyways. I just constantly that something bad is going to happen to me, like I might get the virus, and I feel so helpless. I struggle to go to sleep worrying about this pandemic, and then I wake up worrying about it. I just can't seem to control it. That's the part that impacts my life, though. It's just hard for me to focus on other things like school and family because I worry too much. All of these feelings are so exhausting, so I often feel very tired.
I'm sorry you feel that way. It'll be okay though. Honestly, don't worry about it. Let's see what other people have to say. We will go to Brittany Bates next. Brittany, how has the coronavirus affected you? Being diagnosed with bipolar, is it difficult to maintain a balanced emotional outlook?
Well, I mean, my emotions keep shifting, and I told y'all that. So like I'll be depressed one second, and then I'll be what they call manic another second. So I like to kind of call those my happy days. You know, they're the best. But yeah, other than that, it's been kind of hard to get out of bed sometimes. I just tend to watch a lot of Netflix and sleep for days, and other days I'm on top of the world and I'm active, but I don't know. It's just, I love my happy days because I get to shop online. So, last week I bought a car. Okay. So I bought this car and it's going to be here as soon as the quarantine ends. But I also wanted to buy, I wanted to buy a dog, but they said I can't ship it here. And my mom says that I'll forget to take care of it because I don't take care of myself. But I can't decide though. I think it might help my moods and, being alone.
Yeah, thank you, Brittany. Although I don't necessarily agree with how you're coping with the situation, I think we can all learn better ways to help you here. And then last but not least, I would like to hear from Caitlin McMillan. I can certainly imagine that all this info from the media and people around us has been difficult for you to process. So tell me more about how this has affected you and specifically with your diagnosis.
Ever since the virus started, I have been indoors. Most days I find myself staring at the wall, staying up all night, only to sleep all day. I keep eating more, yet nothing else really interests me. My family calls, and I tend to be snappy with them. I just don't know how they could care about me anyways.
Oh, that reminds me of something I dealt with a while ago, honestly. It was really difficult for me, but honestly, it's a long story. We're not going to get into it. I'm not going to elaborate. But anyway, thank you, Caitlin, for sharing. That's definitely an interesting perspective. So now I'd like to ask you guys, how have you been coping with your mental illness? We'll start with Annie.
My son has really been pushing for me to take my meds. Like I said, I don't really take them very often, but I know I should. So maybe I can kind of get on a better medication regimen. And also, I do suffer from insomnia. I just find it really hard to kind of wind down and go to sleep. So maybe if I get on a better sleep schedule at night and have better relaxation techniques at night, maybe that'll help a little bit, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah, well, I definitely agree with your son. I'm glad that he's there, pushing you to take your meds because the doctor did prescribe them for a reason. So, and they're designed to help you. So continue to take them, not just for you, but really you got to think about your son too, because you have to take care of him.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you continue to take those, you'll be able to take care of him better. Okay. So let's see. I want to hear from Brittany Nichols next. How you doing?
I went to my doctor last week and he put me on Prozac. I haven't really felt any different yet, but he told me that it'll take a few weeks. Also, playing the piano helps relieve some of the anxiety that I feel. But I just really hope that this Prozac helps me feel less anxious.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I just want to remind you, and I'm sure your doctor's already told you this, but sometimes it takes a little bit for medications to kick in. It can take anywhere from a few days to a few weeks. So just, stick with it and it'll work a lot better. And then, after a few weeks or the time frame that your doctor told you, as far as when you should be seeing improvement, if you're not, then contact him and just see, but try to stay on that regimen. Okay. Let's see. Next, I want to hear from Brittany Bates.
Well, so, I'm going to be honest. I've been coping with alcohol. I stocked up, right before the COVID-19 thing happened. So, I just drink a little, sleep a little. It's pretty great. You should really try it though.
Okay. Thanks for sharing, Brittany. Just kind of to provide you with a little education. It's really dangerous to drink as a coping mechanism. But my main concern is if you're drinking on top of your medication, which can cause some serious side effects, obviously. So try to limit your alcohol content intake, or really it's best not to drink any at all, especially if you're on medications. But contact your doctor if you need any extra help coping, so you're not relying on alcohol. Because if your medication's not working and you're taking alcohol for extra help there, then you need to get a different medication or something. Okay? All right. Next, we're going to talk to Caitlin. Go ahead and tell me how you're coping.
Well, my doctor put me on Paxil, but I just don't take it. I took it for a week and it didn't seem to help at all. I guess I'll just keep sleeping. There's nothing better for me to do anyways.
Okay, so like I said before, sometimes it takes a little time for medications to work. Some medications can even take several weeks. Like I told Brittany, they can take a lot of time to kick in. So, just remember it was prescribed to you for a reason. Your doctor did give it to you because he thought it would help. So just give it some time to work and don't stop it abruptly. You want to, if you're going to get off of it, the doctor is going to wean you off of it. You don't need to do that yourself. But anyways, thank you guys so much for coming and talking to me and sitting down and talking through your struggles. This setting can be one of the most therapeutic environments, and I hope you were all able to speak freely and grow in some sort of way. And I will see you guys next time, okay?
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.